I think next is Senator Mullin. You're up.
Thank you, Chairman. We all face unique challenges being from the Midwest and rural states like Oklahoma, North Dakota, and even, major metropolitan areas such as Boston, New York, San Francisco, LA. We all have issues facing us when it comes to clean water. Sometimes it's policy related, sometimes it's neglect, sometimes it's a lack of funding. But what we do know is one size does not fit all. And we need to give municipalities, states flexibility to allow them to make decisions for their unique areas. And a lot of times when Congress, we may have good intentions. Sometimes it's politically driven, sometimes it's actually policy driven. And I think that's what we're trying to do here, Chairman, is have good sound policy. But one size never fits all. And when we throw tremendous amount of money, I mean, $55 billion is a lot of money still for anybody. I don't care who you are. It's a lot of money. And then we put restrictions on it. I think we hear from all of our witnesses is, hey, we know where it needs to go. We need the flexibility to do so. And if we're going to be funding these projects, then we need to make sure that we get those dollars as close to the state, as close to the individuals providing the service as possible, and give them the tools to do it without having the restrictions, which happens so often with federal funding, is that every dollar has so many stinking strings on it that they can't even access it. And that's what I believe Mr. Folk, you was saying a while ago, is that it's, what Senator Kramer was trying to say, is that just to get through the bureaucracy, to get to the funding, is a miracle sometimes in itself. And so my question to you, Mr. Folk, is what tools do you need for rural parts of the country, which is most of the Midwest? What would be most helpful? If the money is there, what tools do you need to access it?
Yeah, Senator, great question. Things we talk about all the time. The flexibility would be immensely grateful. I know visiting with our state folks, they would love that. The technical assistance.
Flexibility in what? Be able to use the dollars for certain projects without having restrictions on the projects. Be able to use flexibility on navigating the bureaucracy. What?
Especially with this funding, like say with the lead component on our water side, we run the risk in our state of maybe not spending down our first tranche of money as quickly as we can, and we can't apply for the next set of money until we spend that down. And we run the risk at, if we don't apply for that, I believe before September 2024, we could lose that money, and that would be reallocated to a state. So some timing flexibility for our state to navigate, let's say, the lead, where like the lead service line inventories are not due to the state until October 16th, 2024, but they have to apply for this new funding, the next year's funding of the lead, in September of 24. So the funding is kind of ahead at this point of the true problem. The state does not fully know the magnitude of the total lead replacement. We have an idea, but some of the flexibility on that would be great. So they wouldn't run the risk of losing that. It could maybe have a little more time, or could use it at another point.
Would it be helpful, instead of us, each municipality or each rural district trying to apply for the grants themselves or the funding themselves, would it be helpful that if we were to allow, if the Congress were to, through the EPA, were to just simply give the money to the states that have, like in Oklahoma, DEQ, Department of Environmental Quality. In North Dakota, I'm sure you got an environmental agency that could help manage it too. Give it to them and allow them to help disperse the dollars in areas and set the timing that you need. That's more that's more designed to actually be practical for you guys to achieve what you're trying to get done.
Yes, Senator. Normally, that's how it would work with their base funding through the SRF program. They have an intended use plan, and that they would go off, and it's on a ranking system with their, if there's health issues or things like that. So they have that flexibility. It's just some of the tightness on some of this new
The
money.
timing.
that-
So the timing is the thing you need the most help with?
Sure.
Okay. That, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.